If Wesley starts, chirping whatever, it's like is what it is. I know that he's like that, and that's kind of what he does. And I like to just kind of let the clubs do the talking. So give you another little tease, but we are working on a plan to get like a full on week. We can get a me versus Wesley individual match. Truly, like, what do you think your ball speed was in that ball? I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it might have been pushing like 200.
Have you talked to Mo at all? You didn't hit a good bunker. It's the bunker shot, dude. How the hell do you hit that shot under pressure?
But that's a shot. Just for me personally, I've always that's the type of shot I get like excited for, especially when there's people watching. I
What are you going to spend the money on? 60 minutes with Internet Invitational champion Brad Dalke here on the Scratch Golf Show. Thank you for clicking on this video. And if you're new here to the channel, welcome. My name is Marco and I'm your host. Here on the Scratch Golf Show, we discuss all things golf, YouTube, and professional news, interviews, discussion topics. And today we've got good member Brad Dalke, friend of the program. We get into the Good Championship, Big Break, Wesley Bryan, and their upcoming match, Internet Invitational follow-up, all of it. You're going to want to stick around to the end. Without further ado, let's get into the interview with Brad. But first, comment your favorite part, and please hit that subscribe button. All that stuff really helps, and I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So please hit that button. It's free. Anyway, now let's hear from Brad. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge guest today. One of the most, I could say, the most popular man on the internet right now. Internet Invitational champ, Creator Classic champ, and two-time guest now here on the Scratch Golf Show, Mr. Brad Dalke. Brad, thank you so much, man. How's life been? I know you've been really busy these last, month or so.
Yeah, it's been good. First of all, appreciate you having me on. Thanks for
Absolutely.
that's gonna be fun talking to you about all this, everything that's been going on lately. But no, life's been busy. Good schedule's been a lot. It was just it always is, and we gotta make sure we get out good content for everyone. So it's been busy but great. And then me and Sean have gone on a couple trips together for personal channels and all that. So it's been busy, but busy is good in this space. You got to keep putting out videos for everyone, and it's been great.
Yeah, man, you're the Dalke, dude. I'll first and foremost, I want to start. Since we last spoke, I had you on in March. You got married, man. I know that feels like probably like a whole different lifetime ago with how much has been going on. Like, how was life? How was the wedding? Like, how was the honeymoon? And how has that been? Like these last few months, kind of enjoying the success with your now wife, Abby.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. She's literally just the absolute best. She's my rock. She's and she understands the best. One of the best things is like she understands the travel schedule and travel commitments, and it can be very easy, especially in this space, to get to have someone on the other side that you're married to that maybe getting mad about things, and she's just so understanding, and so she makes it a lot easier to be gone because I don't feel like I have to feel bad about being gone. She understands it, and but she is awesome, and the wedding went fantastic. It was down in Cancun. Had mainly family, close family, close friends there. A little destination wedding, and it was awesome. The weather was great. Mexico was awesome. The wedding went smoothly. I didn't, you know, mess up the vows or anything like that. So things went great on that end. I was honestly, that was probably top five nervous moment for me, just standing up there, just trying not to stutter on my own words. So, but everything went great. And then we stayed there for the honeymoon down in Cancun at a different resort for a week after. So 2 weeks in Cancun, can't complain. And then especially when they're, with Abby, it was awesome.
I got a question for you because you just brought it up. Were you more nervous for the vows, or were you more nervous on the 18th tee at Pates Valley?
Oh man, it's gonna get me in trouble. But I will
There's
say,
one right answer, Brad.
I will say, Payne's Valley is like the wedding. I was really nervous. She felt me shaking, but I knew I had it. I was like, all I have to do is just talk clearly and smoothly. I'll be okay. But yeah, no, it's two very very nerve wracking moments.
You clutched up. You clutched up. You got through, man. You got the clutch gene. Speaking of
I
clutch,
guess so. I guess so. Well, I just do my best. So
we're gonna get into some things here, man. Let's just dive right into the Internet Invitational. We're recording this a few days after the finale is aired. I know you've kind of talked about it on the Good podcast, but I guess even since recording then, have you had more time to reflect and just, I guess, give me your thoughts on the Internet Invitational as a whole and how cool it was experiencing that with Francis and Beef, and RIP to Beef, obviously, because
yeah.
that was devastating. But
Yeah, no, it was. I actually, so I talked to Francis last night, FaceTimed him. We were planning on FaceTiming like the night the finale came out, but then I had some things come up. A trip came up, and wasn't able to do that. So we finally connected, talked last night on FaceTime, and he summed it up perfectly. It was like it literally felt like a Disney movie script, like watching it back now, because obviously you have the tribute to Beef, who was genuinely one of the most, maybe the nicest guy I've ever met. He was, if you, I don't know if you ever got to meet him, but you didn't, he's was all, I mean, no, he was so new to the space. I don't think a lot of people got to know him super well, except for like the foreplay guys, obviously. But it didn't take long for you to realize he was the nicest person ever. So having the whole series, especially that finale, kind of be a tribute to him and seeing him come on top, was just a storybook ending, really, because I mean, he hit the first tee shot of the tournament, the last shot of the tournament. Just really a God thing that I mean, the way it all shaped up, and then obviously the fact that there was the hero versus villain aspect of it, that kind of shaked out to be that way, and it was really, obviously, in the moment you don't really think about all these things, and obviously, like, we didn't know about Beef at the moment and everything, and but the way it all came out, it was like a reality TV like movie with a script. It's just crazy. It was wild how it all turned out, and it was a success. I mean, credit to Barstool, Bob Does Sports, Dave for putting it on, and then obviously all the editors and the videographers that were out there, and videoing everything, and then obviously the editors that edited afterwards. It was such a good product from start to finish, and I don't know how they did it. I saw all the cameras, all the mics that they had to deal with, and one little thing can go wrong and ruin an entire episode, and nothing happened that we know of that messed anything up. So it's credit to them for making everything so organized and just making it the product it was.
Yeah, man. From a viewer, I mean, like, obviously, I wasn't there. From a viewer's perspective, like, I watch a lot of YouTube golf, given the line of work that I'm in for this channel, and it was quite literally. I don't know if it'll ever be topped from like a YouTube golf perspective. I feel like we've said that about a lot, but like, I don't even know. I'm assuming they're going to do another one. It just how successful this. I don't know how like they could ever top this with just how well everything went, and quite literally, like, dude, I was locked in like every
Yeah.
week, like. I mean, 3 4 hour videos, which is, are tough to consume. I can't even imagine editing. Like, I
Oh yeah.
remember I like just seeing those timelines, man, like gives me anxiety.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like credit to everyone out there. It was so, so, so good. And like you said, it had every aspect of it. And obviously RIP to Beef. It was just so sad that the news came out like the day everything was supposed to air. And I didn't get to meet him. I did DM him a couple times, like when he had first like gotten a bar stool and just said, "Hey, congrats. Like, love to have you on sometime." And like in the couple DMs you shared, like it was the same thing. It's like, have a wonderful day. Like he literally said, he's like, I'm not big enough to come on podcast yet. And ironically enough, like I wish I would have gotten him on. It would have been awesome. But no, I've heard, obviously, I mean, everyone has had nothing but good things to say about him in the space. And it's super awesome, man. Like it couldn't happen to better people. I know I've never met Francis, but he seems like a good dude. And I hope you
Yeah.
guys can celebrate and have that dinner that you had talked about the other night. When you guys go, whenever you go to New York and get
Yeah.
that done. Well, let's start with something. How hard was it to sit on this for 3 months? I mean, basically, I think you all filmed like August 12th, and it was
Mhm.
November 10th when it aired or whatever. Like, how hard was it to sit on this for 3 months and not talk about it?
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, obviously, being in my situation, knowing how much money was at stake if I did open my mouth, it made it a lot easier. It's like, hey, I really, really can't say anything about this, because it could risk losing that money with the NDA. But it was difficult, though. I mean, I have a big family. I have 6 siblings, and they are all very, we're all very close, and they kept asking questions. They know how to get to me and try to get me to talk about everything, but I did a good job. I just kept a straight face and said, just kept telling them, you have to wait and see. It's coming out in October. So it was difficult, but obviously, like I said, with that money on the line, it's like it gives me a little extra motivation to keep my mouth shut and just not even risk anything happening like that. So, but it was wild. I never, because I mean, I've been lucky enough to win tournaments in the past, like in junior golf, college golf, and I've never won something and not been able to talk about it for 2 months. So that was definitely a weird feeling. But obviously, so worth it to just kind of let it sit and let everyone see it once the final product was out.
Well, yeah. So I guess question, because I don't think you talked about this with Garrett, but I guess first and foremost, have you been paid now that it's been aired? As ever, like now that you've gotten through the hardest part of not talking about,
Mhm.
like, have you gotten the money?
Not quite yet. It's in the works, and obviously Barstool is a very
Yeah, yeah, for
reputable
sure.
company, and it's going to happen. But they've got the ball rolling on it, so I think it's we're in the works. It should happen, I think, in the next couple of days. So
Heck yeah.
we're working on it, making sure I'm keeping in touch with them. But it's yeah, I know they're good for it, so it'll be nice once that hits a bank account. It'll help.
Yeah.
We're looking for a house here soon, so I think that'll be a big help in finding something there. So.
It's gonna hit like crack, dude. That's gonna be my next question: is what are you gonna spend the money on? I mean, what like 400 grand or whatever you've won this year? Like, what do you spend that money on? Down
Yeah, I
payment
mean,
for a house?
yeah, I mean, I'd say yeah, the house is number one. Luckily for me, I've never been much of a splurger when it comes to spending. I don't care to have the nicest car. I don't care, to have the nicest thing. So luckily for me, it's you know down payment for a house, and then probably just invest a lot of it. Try to be smart with it. We're gonna have kids in the future, and they're gonna have to go to college, and go ahead and start planning for that now. So yeah, just try to be smart with it in the best way I can. Luckily, I've been taught well enough now that even though it is a big payday, it's that money can go very very quickly. So I have to be smart with it and make sure I have enough to pay the taxes as well because the taxes are
Yes.
going to
Yeah.
be tough this year. But yeah, so just I'm not much of a splurger, so we're gonna be smart with it. But I think the house is the goal number one going into it.
You're such a responsible man, Brad. Speaking of kids, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I think you talked about it in today's video. Like, I think you made a comment because, like, Sean said he had a baby, and then you're like, "I wish I had one." Like, I can't imagine little Dalkies running around, or like you teaching your kids to
And
golf, or having them commit to OU at like 2 years
yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. I mean, we're excited for that time of life, and obviously, so it's funny. The other day we are talking about it, like for the future. Abby is an Aggie. She's an A&M Aggie. Yeah, it could be worse. She could be a Longhorn. She could be a Oklahoma State Cowboy. But she's an Aggie, and we were arguing about like no, they're going to be Sooners. I'm saying they're going to be Sooners. She's saying they're going to be Aggies. So we'll have to figure that whole dynamic out once the time comes. But yeah, pumped for that day. I've always been excited to be a dad. I come from a huge family, like I said, youngest of 7 kids. All my older siblings have kids. I mean, I've always been around nieces and nephews. So I'm pumped for whenever that stage comes in life, and yeah, we'll see.
I know. I remember you had the good thing bouncing around. I think it was Max's kid, and you looked like you guys were like so happy. And I'm kind of in a similar boat, man. Probably, not in the near future, but obviously me and my wife got married last year, and I'm excited too. I
Mhm.
can't wait to be a dad. I just, I always thought it was the coolest thing. Like my connection to golf is my dad. It's like my dad's like my hero in life, and
Yeah,
so like I very much look forward to that part of life whenever that happens. Like I
yeah,
said, it's going to be
same.
really really cool. Uh,
Yeah.
my next question, man. Obviously, like the Internet Invitational has done volumes, like views wise. And you have, I mean, you were already very well known in the space, but I think you can attest it's probably going to get a lot more well known, or obviously has already done a lot for you.
Mhm.
What is this going to do for your career as a content creator? Have you thought about that at all?
I mean, it's already done so much, just even in the first 5 days of the video releasing, 4 or 5 days, and I mean, because I literally took because I knew it'd probably help a lot, so I took a screenshot of what the subscriber count was before the first episode came out, and what is now. And before it was like 185,000. Now it's at like 243,000 or something like that. So it's been crazy. I'm super thankful that first off that they made the Barstool and them created this event to give us all a stage to get a lot of eyeballs on us. And then obviously I'm just grateful that I was able to be there at the end and play the way I did to be able to kind of impress some people and hopefully get my brand a little bigger in a way. But um, yeah, I mean it's the future is exciting. 2026 is gonna be exciting, and obviously good for me is still number one. They have been so awesome to me, and I love filming with the guys, and that's always going to be priority number one. And I think hopefully my success in the tournament can kind of help with Good Goods branding as well, and just hopefully it'll bring some viewers over to the channel in that way. But and obviously for my personal channel, it's doing very well right now, and hoping it'll be on a little hot run for a while, and it's fun. I think For me, luckily, I've gotten a lot better on camera the longer I've done it, gotten more comfortable with it, and then the game, the game's been great for a while now, so I think people like watching that. But yeah, pumped for what's in the future. We obviously have some, the Bryan Bros playing against them here soon, and that's going to be, a very big video there. So very excited about that. But yeah, it's there's the sky's the limit. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what 2026 brings.
Oh yeah, man, you're the Dalke, and we're gonna get in the Bryan Bros match here in a little bit. I obviously have a
Yeah,
question about that because
yeah,
I've been trying to get that match happen for months. Because obviously everyone wants to see it.
yeah,
Dude, first and foremost, it's cool that you still take pictures of like the subscribers because obviously I do it because I'm still growing. Speaking of trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you are watching this, drop me a sub as well as Brad. I'll
do
link
it.
his channel in the description. But 10K by the end of the year. But it's just cool that you still reminisce in those moments of just like even no matter how big you get, you're still like
Mhm.
180, 250, like it's still like dopamine hit. And like I get it.
Yeah,
Like I said, I going to 8,000 right now. And so it's cool to see that and hear that
yeah.
that
No,
you
I
still
mean,
do that.
I think it's the same for you. It's like you're grateful for each person that,
Exactly.
it's just clicking a button, which obviously seems very easy to do, but it's also a commitment to click that in a way for the viewer, and it shows that they are interested in what you're doing and they like watching what you're doing, and each and every person that clicks that subscribe button, it's meaningful to me. It's I'm grateful for it, knowing that I've gotten to a point in my life where I'm making YouTube videos, which I never thought in my life I would be in this
Yeah.
situation. I thought I'd, if anything, doing golf still. I thought I'd be, on the pro tour or something. But the fact that I'm in the YouTube space now and people are that interested in watching me play golf on camera, I'm very grateful for it. And obviously, it's cool to hit those milestones.
Yeah, and speaking of milestones, man, I know you're going to be 250,000 here probably shortly by the end of this week or whatever the rate you're at. But your personal brand is really growing and taking off. Like, have you taken a second, whether or not be even the Internet Invitational, but just these last few months, to just like appreciate what you've built with just your own channel and just how far you've come in these last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean it's been unreal. It's been, I think it was like 2 months ago I went and watched one of my early videos, and it was so just not how it is now. It was my on course, just me on camera, the way I was talking, kind of shyfully, like it was way different. Simon Kang, my editor, I want to give a huge shout out to Simon. He's done an unbelievable job because he's been in the editing and videographer business for a long time, but my channel was kind of the first like golf channel he went like full time on, like full on edits. He did some rough cuts for Good before, but he's had to grow a lot through it. Whenever he started with me, he didn't know how to do a tracer. He had to learn how to do tracers. He had to learn, kind of to find. He had to learn to find his personality through editing, because like, I mean, as you know, every editor has, you kind of have control on how the video looks, and you have to find your personality in that, and he's done a fantastic job in finding his niche, his personality through editing, and he's just done a fantastic job. So big shout out to Simon. He's a huge part in why why this channel has grown to what it is now. So, and he's been working his butt off. So it's been I do sometimes reflect on it thinking like, a little imposter syndrome sometimes, just knowing I never thought I'd be in YouTube golf, and now I am, and I'm, doing well, obviously with good, and then on my own thing. So it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, just huge shout. I mean, Simon is the one. I think that's another thing is like the editors behind the scenes, they don't get as much love as they should. They are the ones who make the content watchable. I could go out there and do a break 50 with Sean, but if I have a terrible editor, people probably aren't going to watch it because it's a terrible video. But luckily, Simon is a great editor, and he's doing a great job at the job, and just super thankful for everything he's done.
Shout out Simon, man, friend of the program. Funny story for you because I just remembered. So I was at that People's League thing about a month ago. As you know, Simon was there, and they were between rounds. They were done filming, and obviously he was the cameraman for the video. And we're going to get lunch, and I drive back up to the clubhouse where we're at, and he's in there editing one of your videos during a lunch
Yeah,
break. I meant to text you, and I was like, "You deserve." I was going to take a picture, but like, give this man a raise. He's out here grinding for you. And then
yeah,
even them, like, they were up at 6 a.m. Michael's on my flight back to Detroit. Ironically enough, he was connected. He was working in the morning. I'm like, man, shout out to those guys.
yeah.
They are awesome. And like I
It's
said, is hilarious. He's awesome. You got lucky with that
yeah,
with him. He's dope.
no, I got extremely lucky, and he's got great humor. He puts in the
Yeah.
videos
Oh
too.
yeah. It's so
Cool.
funny.
He has that
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani home run clip he puts in like every single video at some point. Yeah, he's got a lot. He's got great humor, and he knows how to display it through the videos. It's awesome.
Dude, let's talk about One of the I don't know if you had talked about it on any other pod. I didn't listen to the subpar one yet, but the bunker shot that you hit, and I know you know what bunker shot I'm talking about because it's the bunker shot. Like this, you didn't hit a good bunker, it's the bunker shot, dude. How the hell do you hit that shot under pressure? Like
Yeah.
that was one of the best shots I've ever. And like I don't know if the average golfer. Obviously, I'm a scratch. Like like could really appreciate good shots like that. Like how did you hit that shot? What's going through your head? Like that was insane. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
it's I mean, obviously with the cliffhangers course, you can have some pretty wild shots out there around those greens. Just the greens are crazy and undulated and all that. But that's a shot. Just for me personally, I've always that's the type of shot I get like excited for, especially when there's people watching. I'm I do like to kind of show off in those moments when it's a spot where I can kind of show my creativity and my hand because I do feel like I have very good hands around the greens and stuff like that. So it's kind of a time to like show off in a way of like, hey, watch me do this. This is gonna be pretty cool. So once I saw that spot where the ball was and I saw where the pin was and had that backstop, but also I had to carry it like 35 yards over the first ridge, or else it's going to come back to my feet. It was not an easy shot, but it was one I was very excited for because I knew that if I did pull it off, I knew I could pull it off. But if I did pull it off, then it'd probably be pretty impressive. And that's just something I just kind of like, having those moments to show off in front of people. So, and I think Garrett mentioned it too in one of the podcasts or something. He's like, I knew Brad was like excited to hit that shot. And I was like grinning ear to ear. I was just kind of like, "Hey, watch this ball." So, yeah, I just splashed it hard, and luckily I've always been really good at long bunker shots. I've always had a good feeling or a good feel for them. So yeah, just open up that face a little bit and splash it out. Make sure it gets over that first ridge, and just let the hill do the rest. So it was a cool shot, and it definitely got clipped a lot, and people enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna clip that clip for sure and post
Yep,
that on Instagram for
yep,
sure, man. You clutched up in so many moments, and first of all, you're a sicko for just even saying that because you like to show off. Because that's I wish I had that amount of skill.
yeah,
But speaking of like, you were so clutch. Like I feel like even that the hole that Beef hit in the water, and then Francis hit it, and then you made that bogey putt. Like, dude, you were clutching up that whole weekend because I think you talked about it with Garrett of just like just because you were obviously the best player there like you still had to do a lot and like a lot had to happen and it was still one up.
yeah,
Like you were clutch in a lot of moments and you made a lot of clutch shots and putts to get there. So shout out to you, man, because
yeah,
you were locked in. How do you get so locked in those moments? Obviously, you've played pro golf and like I've never played in any tier of event that you've ever played in, but I've always played club championships like that. But like even like the Mo thing, because you had said in the Mo thing, like on the podcast, like you didn't even know what happened till 11. Like, how did
Mhm.
you get so locked in all those moments and just like pouring putts, hit shots, or just like not even know what's going on around you?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a I think it just all attributes back to just my competitive playing history. I mean, I played my first golf tournament when I was 3 years old. And it's just all I've known playing golf tournaments and trying to get into that zone as much as possible. Because whenever you are playing well, especially in competitive golf, it's like you kind of get into that zone and you just try not to do anything that will get you out of that zone. And for me, like with the drama that was going on in the last round, it's like I felt like I was kinda in that zone, like, no matter what I did, I was hitting good shots and pulling off shots and, really helping our team, stay in it and kinda hang in there, and it's one of those things where I knew if I got involved with that drama, then it might get me kind of out of that rhythm, out of that zone, and so I was like, "I'm just gonna stay as far away from it as possible." I'll let Francis is kind of our talker. Like, if Francis needs to get involved with something, I think he is happy to go do that for us. I knew my role was to go play good golf as well as good as possible, and so luckily I was able to stay in that zone. But I think it goes back to just competitive golf. I've been playing competitively since I was 3, and I've had a lot of tournament rounds under my belt, whether it's junior golf, college golf, pro golf, and I think the invitational felt most similar to college golf in a way, just because. And also, I played like Junior Ryder Cup, Wyndham Cups, and AJGA, Palmer Cup, which also is more that you have 2v2 and a bunch of pairings. You can't really pay attention to what everybody else is doing. You just got to focus on your own match. And kind of the same way with college golf. It's like you have to go play individually. You got 4 teammates, but you can't do anything about what they do. You just have to go play your own game, play your best, and hope that they hold up their end or play well. So luckily, I do have a lot of experience in team golf in the past, and I think that just it all helped a lot. Which in a scenario where the other five players, like I know Paige played college golf and all that, but I knew I had the most experience in that moment. I knew that I'd probably be able to handle it the best. And so for my job, it was go handle that, go do my job and handle the stress and handle everything and play well. And then do my best to uplift Beef and Francis because I know they had never really been in those moments before and they were going to be crapping their pants. And I understood that. And I get it. Like it's your first time playing in this situation. It's for $1 million. Like it's understandably they're going to be crapping their pants. So I have to do whatever I can to help get them through those moments as smoothly as possible, whether it's talking through a shot, backing them off a shot, just giving them some, pump them up or uplift them. Like I just knew I had to be a really good team guy, but also focus on what I was doing and just play the best I could.
Yeah, man. It's like good. Like you said, you have that experience, and I still love the clip how you said like on 18 you just swung as hard as possible. I can't
Yeah.
imagine how hard you hit that golf ball, man. That thing was
Yeah. Yeah. I think Bubby
mashed.
brought it up today. We were filming and he's like, truly, like, what do you think your ball speed was in that ball? I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it might have been pushing like 200 just with the adrenaline.
Yeah,
Because I mean, right now when I swing hard, I get up to like 192. I bet that one was at 200 or almost 200, just straight up adrenaline hitting the center of the face. And yeah, they hit that one pretty good.
I love it, man. After seeing you hit in Chicago, it's fun watching you hit golf balls, especially when you're swinging
Appreciate
hard.
it.
It's have you talked to Mo at all since this like last few days? Like obviously, I know he's been getting a ton of heat over this whole slope gate thing. You talked to him at all? Like I know you mentioned the thing about his family, which is insane. Like people should
Yeah.
not do that at all. I know you put that up, but have you talked to him behind the scenes at all?
Yeah, I mean, I sent him a text a couple days ago, just saying like basically because even I don't know what the case is. I don't know. Obviously, the video evidence doesn't look great for on his end. It does not. I'll be honest about that. But obviously, no one will know truly what happened except for him. It's like we people can have their opinions. They can take screenshots of all this stuff, and no one will know exactly what was happening except for him. So, and I texted him. I was like, "Hey, dude, like first off, I told him just sorry for everything that he's having to go through right now, and his family's obviously his family's getting messages too, like you said, and it's like it's ridiculous. First off, that his family's getting messages. Like I understand him getting messages. Some people just online are just wild and are keyboard warriors, and it happens. It's just the internet and social media. But I just told him like, hey, dude, sorry you're going through all this, and sorry your family's having to get brought into it also. And I told him like, look, dude, I straight up said like, I don't know what you did. I don't know if you did or you didn't, whatever. Like only you are the person to know, and it's not my right to you know bash you or like I have no right to do anything because I genuinely don't know if he did or not. But the hate online is just it's wild, and it's also part of putting yourself out there in an event like that. You kind of know that if you're putting yourself out there in a barstool event that you know is going to get millions and millions of views, it's like you're putting yourself out there at risk of either looking very good for the audience and getting a lot of fans or possibly doing something the fans don't like and getting a lot of heat. So it's like it's part of it. But I just text him like sorry that you're going through all this and your family is getting brought into it, and that's about it. He's he hasn't. I think he's trying to stay away from his phone as much as possible, understandably. So I think we're about to see him tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, for the
Pretty
TGL thing.
yeah, for the TGL thing, and then yeah, he's coming down to Dallas first. So I think we're about to see him, so we'll probably get a little more insight on everything on that. But yeah, I think he's kind of been away from his phone, just understandably.
For sure. And for sure. And let's all right, enough of the Internet Invitational because I know we're talking about it. There's a lot of stuff actually I want to talk about outside of that I want to ask you that we've been because I know we've been trying to do this for a while, but luckily
Yeah,
enough it ends up working out that it was after the Internet Invitational. But I wrote this question down because and it's funny that you touched on, showing off and like smiling ear to ear when the pressure gets tough. How badly do you want to be the best? And by best, I mean the best golfer on YouTube.
yeah. I mean, I think any competitive golfer, of my caliber, the Bryan Bros, Quan, Sean, Peter Finch. I think any of people in our caliber, we want to be the best in whatever we do, and I think it's not necessarily like I'm not. I don't have anything in my mirror with like the Bryan
Yeah,
Bros
for sure. Yeah, no, I
on
get
there.
it.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not, sitting there like only trying to be the best, but it's like it's also a competitive thing. It's like and the thing is with whenever you do get to this level that the handful of us are at, the differences are so minuscule. I will say I feel like I've been playing some fantastic golf, and maybe I'm as of right now I'm playing the best out of everyone. But the differences are so minuscule that like any given day, if the five or six of us went and played a round of golf, anyone could win, depending on the day. So it's people I see comments saying like, oh, Brad would wax Wesley, Wesley would wax Brad. I'm like, well, you need more than a sample size of one round, because we could both win any given day against each other. Um, so I think the best YouTube golfer argument will never be fully settled just because there are, a handful of guys that are on the same skill level. It just kind of depends on the day type thing. But I mean, I do. I mean, again, the competitor comes. I'm a competitive guy. I want to be the best in anything I do. Doesn't matter whether it's golf or pickleball or ping pong or whatever. Like I want to be really good at whatever I do. And so yeah, it's again, it's not like it's plastered on my wall, but I do want to be the best at whatever I can be at. And YouTube golf is obviously what I'm doing right now, and I want to try to be the best in that.
Well, speaking of the best, man, like you said, you just kind of hinted on it, talked about it. We're filming with the Bryan Bros. I heard it's coming this weekend. Let's talk
Mhm.
about this because man, this is a big match. I think everyone's been wanting to see it. And I guess, do you want to talk about the format? I know you talked a little bit about on your channel. You mentioned it's going to be you and Sean, obviously, but it'd be 18 holes, 9 holes, scramble, two man. Like, what's the format? Can you share at least that?
So yeah, we don't. I mean, I have an idea of what we want to do. We haven't quite ran it by them, but I think we are both. I can't really say the format yet because it's not dead set. But I think we both do want to make it in a way where it truly shows, how good the four of us are. And
Nice.
it makes it very skill driven. So like, I don't think we're gonna be doing a scramble. Like, I think it'll be more of a best ball type thing or something along those lines where we can all kind of play our own ball, show off to everyone like, hey, all four of us are really good, and this is should be a great match. And we want to make it to where there's no jankiness involved in a way where like scramble, you could obviously, like if Sean played really well and I played bad, I could kind of hide behind Sean in that. And obviously with team golf, it's always going to be that a little bit. But so we don't know the format for sure yet, but we do want to make sure it's very skill driven and we can kind of all showcase our talents to the audience because I think that audience for those videos will be very big. I think a lot of people are excited
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Do you have a course picked out yet?
We're working on it, so it'll be in Dallas. Here in Dallas, I think the weather's gonna be good, luckily. But we're sending our feelers out to a couple places, trying to make sure we get a really good golf course. So it might be at Glen Eagles, which I've done some videos out there recently on my channel, and they've treated us fantastic. Shout out to Byron out of Glen Eagles. He has just treat us awesome every time we go out there. But so we'll see. I'm gonna guess he'll probably be there, but it's not for sure yet. So we're still working on it. It is a weekend, and it's gonna be a nice weekend in the wintertime. So, we're trying to make sure we can get a tea time somewhere. But I
Yeah.
think that probably will be where it'll be. So,
It's dropping in December, you said, right? Is that
yeah, I think as of right now, I was talking to George the other day. I think it's gonna be December 2nd and 3rd. So it will be the main match will be a part one on the Bryan Bros, and then part two on mine.
let's go.
So
Are
yeah, so
you
this will also I'll give you another little tease. So this is
nice?
like obviously just a little weekend trip that luckily they were able to come in town and kind of get a couple video shots because I think we're going to film another one for Sean's channel. There'll be a separate match, but we'll do something for Sean's channel. Um, but we are working on a plan to get like a full on week, like 4 or 5 days together, where we get a lot of we can get a me versus Wesley individual match and a bunch of different stuff. So that'll be don't know. Don't have anything set on that. We're both trying to figure out schedules, but so we'll. I think there will be a full on week together where we do a lot of different stuff and get kind of a series going with them. So yeah, that's exciting. But we're pumped for it. It's they're great players, and we're excited to go play against them.
Thanks for the scoop, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
it. Appreciate it
yeah,
because I said in my video yesterday when I gave out my pick, which is you. Obviously, I'm backing you guys. I won't. You're not losing, man. You're playing too good. But I had said I was like, Brad, you announced it on your channel. You knew you were coming on my show, breaking the news. So I appreciate the scoop, man. Are you fully ready for like what this match is going to be like? You know, the banter, like there's the whole
Oh yeah,
George good. Like, are you ready for this, man? This is going to
yeah, I'm
be.
ready. I'm ready. I'm not. I mean, I'm not. Of course, when I play with Sean, like I'm much more comfortable with Sean, so I definitely crap talk him a lot, and he does the same to me. And we're, it's a good we mix together, and we both know that nothing's personal at all. So we do a good job of that. But um, like when it comes to people like outside Sean, I really don't do a whole lot of crap talking. I've just never really been that way. I like to just kind of let the clubs do the talking. So if Wesley starts, chirping whatever, it's like it is what it is. I know that he's like that, and that's kind of what he does, and I'm excited. But I mean, they're both good dudes, and just excited to go have. Hopefully, it's a good match. Obviously, nothing's for sure. One of us could run away with it, but hopefully, it's at least somewhat of a good match, and me and Sean can come out on top at the end. But yeah, I'm prepared for it. Ready just to go let the clubs do the talking if I need to.
God, I hope he talks so much crap to Wesley because I know he's going to be in your ear the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
Oh man! All right, well, let's transition because I got a question about Sean. Like, I know you guys have really bonded over this since you guys have kind of joined, and you guys are some of the best content going on YouTube right now. Like, just take a minute, talk about your relationship with Sean, how much it's grown, and just how cool it is to have someone at Good that you can just go do these trips with, like the Break of 50 or whatever it is that you have two competitive golfers in that area. That's very easy to schedule. So, just talk to me a little about your relationship with Sean these last year or so.
Yeah, I mean, Sean's the best. He's an unbelievable person, truly just down to earth, great to be around. Um, and I've actually known Sean for a long time. So our instructor, we have the same instructor, Joey Wartenberger. He's in the Dallas area, and I started seeing Joey when I was like 7 or 8. Sean started seeing him when he was pretty young too, and so I ran into him a lot. We'd have like lessons back to back when we were younger, and kind of didn't know him super well, but knew him decently well as a junior golfer. And he's a little older than me, obviously. He's a lot older. He's an old man. Yeah, I could hear the dust in his joints today as we were playing. He's getting up there, but no. So we know each other for quite a while, but didn't really know each other like that well until he started doing stuff with Quan. I started seeing him a little bit more. I don't think I ever played with him and Quan on Quan's channel, but just started seeing more of him kind of in the YouTube space as he was still doing pro golf though. And then obviously he joins Good, and it's obviously we're traveling together 24/7. So it's been awesome. It's been great, especially whenever Quan left. I felt like I was kind of missing that really good golfer on the other side that I could help keep me better. I could help keep them better. And Sean was the perfect fit, I think, for Good. He's just a great person. You can always trust him in anything he's doing, whether it's brand related with Good or whatever it may be. He's the person one of the guys you can really trust to make sure he portrays Good in a great manner. And he's obviously just a great golfer. And I think we mesh together well, especially on camera, because we are both high skilled golfers, but we do it in much different ways. Obviously when he's playing well, he never misses a fairway. He is very good with his irons. If he gets that putter going, he can really go low. Then obviously me, I'm swinging out of my shoes every single shot. There's much different games, but we, are usually shooting somewhat in the same score. So it's been fun to have him around. He's a great guy. He's fun to travel with, fun to be around, and he's just he's been, I think he's been a blessing to me, and for him, having him on my channel and just to be around him. And he's also been a blessing to Good, I think, because he's really I think he's helped me get in a better spot with Good, actually getting my game better and better. And he's just a great person to have, representing the brand.
Yeah, blessing to meet you. He's been on this show like 4 times. He comes
Yeah,
on literally whenever I ask at the drop of a hat. He's like my
yeah,
favorite, like the nicest dude ever. I've had a really good relationship with him. He was like one of the first people I had on and before I was really big. And like, he's always treated me the same. Even then, when I was then, he was still nice to share it, push it out. He's like, he treats me really well. And I DM him way too much. I'm shocked he hasn't blocked me, but Sean's awesome. A couple things I want to touch on because I do want to get into something you and Sean are going to be doing together, which you haven't talked about in the podcast, I don't think. But Grant, you mentioned Grant. Like, are you doing something with Grant? Is that kind of on the books, or what is that looking like for you? Because
yeah.
that's got to be a huge one for you.
Yeah, we've talked. We're trying to figure out schedule wise. Again, it's just like every YouTube golfer
Crazy, yeah.
schedules are just ridiculous with traveling. Even I mean, especially for us with being with Good, it's like we obviously want to do our own personal stuff as well, but we putting Good first, obviously, And so the travel or the traveling schedules are a lot, but me and Grant are trying to figure something out. I think, um, I think he wants to do something with me, and then I'll get something with him for my channel, and obviously pumped for that. I mean, he's the guy on YouTube right now, and it's that'll be awesome to see. Be able to get on his channel and then him get on mine. I think it'll be some great videos. So we're working on it. Nothing at all set or planned, but trying to get the schedules to match up.
Nice, nice. That's gonna be awesome, man. Old good good versus new good good. The golden boys of good good.
Yeah.
What is your dream collab, man? Like, do you have one picked out? Like, obviously, like I know you mentioned something about Bob. Obviously, you're doing this Wes and George Grant. Like, do you have one where it's just like, man, that would be like the coolest one that you could do, like after all this like rise up that you've had with Internet Invitational?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean the obvious ones are, doing stuff with Grant, Brian Bros, Bob Does Sports, the big YouTube channels outside of Good Good. And I mean, that'd be cool to do stuff with them. Um, but again, like my channel, I want to have a lot of competitive golf, and I want to challenge pros. And like Scotty's the number one. And it's ridiculous. He is ridiculous. I've known him. We've known each other since I was 6 and 7, or I was 6, he was 7. That was not a 6-7. That was not me. That's ridiculous. I swear that trend just shows how much I say 6 to 7. 'Cause I think it's like my go-to whenever I hit a shot close. Like, yeah, that's probably like 6, 7 feet. Like now I just expose myself every time I say that. But I've known Scotty forever, and he's always been a good friend of mine. And obviously, we've kind of parted ways a little bit, just with me going the YouTube route now. And he's obviously the best golfer in the world. Um,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous how good he is now. But I do want to get something with him. It's tough just because he does not care about social media whatsoever. So like he doesn't care about gaining a bigger following or anything like that. Like he already has a huge following, and he just doesn't really care to make it bigger in a way, in the best way possible. He just does. He's not a social media guy. But Scotty definitely be an awesome one. I've talked to Sam Burns. Me and Sam are really good friends. I think we're going to try to get something together at some point soon. So, and then Morikawa, we've talked a little bit. So it's been, I want to, along, I mean, kind of the same thing that Grant does. He gets, the big names. I want that too. And luckily I do have a lot of connections through my past junior golf and college golf. I know a lot of these guys. So, I just want to play competitive golf. I would love to go play on one 18-hole stroke play and just see how I kind of stack up against all these guys I used to compete with all the time.
Yeah, I'd love to see you do Xander. I know obviously you guys good being with Callaway. I'm sure it's easier to get those guys than it is a Scotty, because I know obviously Scotty does his thing with Grant through the
Yeah,
through TaylorMade. I'm sure that's how he gets it. So I'd love to see you do one with Xander personally. I think that would be awesome.
that'd be awesome. Xander's a great dude, and yeah, we've done stuff with him with Good, and
Yeah.
obviously I'd love to do something on my personal channel too, if that's possible at some point.
Well, speaking of good in pro golf, man, this feels like a year ago at this point, but the good championship, you guys announced the PGA Tour, and I want to talk about Big Break with Sean after this, but share your thoughts on the good championship, dude. How crazy is it that good is the title sponsor of a PGA Tour event? Just how insane that's been.
It's wild. I mean, it's such a. I mean, obviously, I've been with the group for almost 3 years now, so it's getting I've been here for a while now, but it really goes back to the fact of the guys who started this. Garrett, Steve, Sharf, um, I don't know why I'm blanking, but Kendrick, just
Bubby,
everyone
yeah,
that
Kendrick,
started
yeah,
everyone that started the company. It's so cool to see that what they started has become this, and I think it's just a testament to how hard they have worked, especially those first few years whenever Good really popped and just got going. And then obviously in the last 3 years since I've been here, and just the work we've done together, just to keep growing this thing continually. And it's the thing is, like, I don't know if people realize this. I think a lot of people do, but I think a lot of people don't. It's like it's not easy to sponsor a PGA Tour event. It's not like you can just email the PGA Tour, say, "Hey, we want to throw this amount of money at you and sponsor an event." It's like it's not that easy. And they done, Kendrick and all the guys behind the scenes have done such a great job, building relationships and building relationships that really are like 2 years in the making. I think like a lot of relationships have to be built, but then also just jumping through all the hoops of how to get the sponsor, and what a course to play on, and all this just stuff that is above my pay grade, and I'm glad it is, because I don't want to have to handle any of that. But they've done a fantastic job of just getting it done, and it's cool to see. I mean, it's good is, um, the good I think is YouTube golf, and it's cool to see that we have really led this charge of YouTube golf kind of infiltrating the entire golf media space. And I think this is a huge step. And shout out to the PJ Tour for being open minded and wanting this to happen and getting the ball rolling on it. And we're pumped for it. It's kind of that Barton Creek down there is unbelievable. We got to play down there the week we announced it, and it's a great golf course. Going to be a great setting for hopefully a really good tournament.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like you said, obviously I watch pro golf. I try to talk all things. My catchphrase on the channel is talk all things golf, YouTube and professional.
Yeah,
But the pro golf content doesn't do as well as you know. But like it's crazy, and I understand the pro golf world, like how it's not hard or it's not easy to sponsor a PGA Tour event, and like obviously I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it's a fall event, so like even that like that is
yeah,
not cheap. Like you guys are shelling out, I imagine, a good amount of cash to have your name, and it's a 3-year agreement. Obviously, I believe is what was reported. So like PGA Tour sees a future, and when I had Sharf on, I had talked about this about a month ago, and when it came out, it was like it's cool that the PGA Tour believes in you guys. Like I know you guys get a lot of hate, and it's kind of BS, but like at the top level. The top level of golf, the major orgs, whether it be the people getting involved, the major cut like the USGA with the Bryan Bros, you guys doing all this stuff with TGL, PGA Tour. Now you have PGA Tour event, and you've sponsored PGA Tour players. Like it's crazy to see how YouTube golf has become, and the top leadership believes in it. So who cares what the haters say? Is kind of a
yeah,
long winded.
exactly. No, it's I mean that's the thing with good is like obviously there's been a lot of competition that have popped up in the last few years, a lot of different channels and all that, but good still has, in my opinion, the superiority over a lot of channels, and the fact that we are continually like pushing the limits on what we can do in the golf space. And that's the thing, like one of our biggest goals with good is not to keep it just known as a YouTube channel and apparel company. Like we want to keep pushing the limits and make good really a brand that is known by every single golfer, and every it's a brand that is just huge in the golf world to where everyone knows it, and not just hey, it's not like Good Good's just this YouTube channel or Good Good's this clothing company. It's like Good is a huge brand in golf, and that's the goal. And that's how we're doing it is by just getting our hands in as many sides of the golf piece as possible. It's whether it's TGL, whether it's PGA Tour, like we want our hands in everything in golf, and that's how we have to keep growing, keep pushing the limits, and that's an asset that we have at Good that a lot of channels don't have, and I think we're just going to keep trying to make it bigger and better and really grow this thing into something unbelievable.
Yeah, I side note, if anyone at Good wants to get into the YouTube golf show business, I know a really good young and coming up and coming YouTube channel golf show. If just my DMs are open, let me know if
Yeah,
you guys ever want to get in the business of the YouTube golf show. And speaking of that, shout out to the Good Girls, man. I know I'm trying to get. I was supposed to record with Alexis and Marissa last week. We had to reschedule, so that video should be coming to this channel soon. So once again, if you made it this far in the video, subscribe to the channel for that. But
yeah,
shout out Good Girls, man. You guys are doing stuff like it's been a crazy month. Like just like what you guys have done. Internet Invitational won. You guys are getting like all this recognition for you, which is great for Good. I mean, people are talking about Mo, whether it be in a bad way. It's still. I'm a big believer in no press is bad press. Mo's gonna get hate, but he'll blow over. And we kind of saw what Quan happened, where it blew over, and now he's got more popular because of it. But like, just shout out to the Good Girls and all that stuff's coming because you guys are doing stuff and all that and big break and the PGA Tour. It's just been a crazy month for you guys. It's been
yeah,
insane. This run you guys are on. Speaking of big break, man. Actually, before we do that, I want one more thing before we get off the Good Championship. Pro golf, the return. I know you're doing big break, and obviously, if you win, you'll get into the Good Championship. I would, and I don't know if you can comment on this or even I guess talk about it, but I would venture a heavy guess that even if you don't get in through big break, that you will get a sponsors exemption because Good does pay a lot of money to sponsor an event. Have you thought about playing in it, like even like what that's going to look like, or even playing in events before then next year? Because I imagine you're going to be in the field for the Good Championship. I would bet a lot
I
of money
mean,
on that.
yeah, I mean, it's obviously no. I mean, in my mind, it's no guarantee. Like it's I'm going to play the big break, and that's obviously going to have a the winner gets into the championship for that. So I'm going to try to get my spot that way, and then obviously if that doesn't go to plan. I don't know what the plans are. I mean, I would love to play if if that's the case that happens, but we'll see. I mean, my goal is hopefully just to go win big break and get through that way, and that'd be freaking awesome. Especially bring big break. That's one thing and I know you're probably about to get
Let's
to it
just
too.
segue. Let's just segue right into it because yeah, that's the next talking point.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I mean, Big Break. It's gonna. I'm so pumped for it. Like genuinely, I that was a show um, I grew up watching. With I mean, I think everyone, especially like my age range, and I think that was like the golf show because that was before YouTube Golf. That was kind of I think what people love about YouTube Golf now is why they loved Big Break back then. It's like you really got to know these good golfers and you got to know their backstories and what they're who they're playing for, all their stories, and you get to learn just a lot about them. And it's just I'm kind of losing my headspace here, but you just learn a lot about the golfers and what they're playing for, and they get to go out there and showcase their talents and try to, handle the pressure of the flop wall, the glass breaking, all that. And then, you obviously have like the 1v1 matches and everything. It's just a lot of drama, reality TV, but also you have to put great golfers in the space and just let them run the show. And I'm excited for it. I know everyone else is too. I'm excited to go compete against Sean and the flop wall and the glass break. And I don't know if I have no say in it. I don't know if we're picking other competitors or if Golf Channel is. I don't know, but I'm sure there's gonna be some really good golfers playing, and it's gonna be fun. I'm pumped for it.
yeah, man, like you said, I grew up on that show, like back on Golf Channel, like in the early 2010s or even late 2009 or whatever. Like that was the show, like you said, and like that was one of the best shows of all time. Like I feel like that was one of the most successful Golf Channel shows ever, and it sucks that they went away with it because I know, based on what I heard, it costs a lot to revive. So it means that you guys are obviously spending money, but it's an investment that I feel like is going to be pay off in dividends because it's going to do awesome. And you guys putting the YouTube spin on it, I can't imagine how cool it's going to be. Do you have any like idea when it's going to be shot or like any like formats that you can talk about? I know we're still obviously, I think it's like coming out next August, I think is when, or
Yeah,
September. I
I
don't
think
know.
maybe August. Or maybe a little later than that. It's sometime kind of summer or late summer, I think, is when it comes out. But yeah, we'll be doing filming. I think in like April or May, it'll be like a 3-week filming down in Horseshoe Bay. So we'll be down there for a while, and luckily Horseshoe Bay is an awesome resort, and I'll be able to bring Abby down and have her hang out for the 3 weeks. But yeah, super. I mean, like you said, it's such an awesome. It was always such a great show to watch growing up. So glad we're bringing it back, and I think it's gonna be great having Sharf and Garrett and everybody there also playing their role. Like it's obviously me and Sean are playing, but it'll be awesome to have everyone there too, just playing their role. Sharf's gonna be a host. He's gonna be probably just in the ear of every single competitor while they're over the shot. Normal Sharf stuff. But it's going to be awesome to have just the good YouTube side of things, along with one of the most popular shows of all time when it comes to golf.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see like the dream obviously for everyone is like you and Sean, the last two, like battling for the spot in the Good Championship. It'd make
Yeah,
great TV. And I told Sharp when I had him on, like, dude, I don't know if Golf Channel or whoever the executive NBC, whoever is the, whatever it falls under now, like, I don't know if they know what they got themselves into giving Sharp a microphone on TV.
yeah,
Like
no, they do not. Yeah, they need to. Yeah, they might. I mean, I love it for him. That's like the role he was born for. He loves having the mic in his hand. But yeah, they might have to cut him off here and there. 100%.
It's gonna be exciting, man. I can't wait. Like I know we're a ways out, but I'll be in Austin. I'll see you in Arizona here in a couple months.
Okay.
But I'm gonna be
Mhm.
down in Austin, go cover it for the channel. Obviously, as you know, I have a pretty good relationship with the guys over at Good, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited for YouTube to put a spin. I think where pro golf is right now, given Live, the PGA Tour doesn't seem like it's coming together anytime soon. YouTube golf's the future. I've been a firm believer in that for a long time, and it's cool to see you guys putting the YouTube spin on modern professional golf. And whether the haters, whatever. Like I think at the end of the day, like I said, the top level leadership believes in good. So who really gives a shit what everyone else
Exactly.
says?
Yeah.
You guys got your PGA Tournament, and it's crazy how much it's cool, man. The last thing I want to talk about, you talked a little bit about on the Good podcast, and I actually wanted to talk about it last time you're on, but you're 3 years sober, which I found super cool and like pretty inspiring that you've kind of gone through a lot of this whole change in your life. Like you said, like I think you said in the Good podcast that like right before you were in good, like you kind of were still kind of going through it, but like all this change, you kind of going through fame, wedding, success, travel, like it's a lot. And the fact that you've been able to hold strong, it's really inspiring. I mean, do you mind just talking about it or just like sharing some advice for maybe people who are thinking about it or just how it's affected you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been unbelievable, and I will always be, obviously those times were miserable in the moment, and once I did get sober, it was because of I said the podcast, like I literally almost died, and that was like the rock bottom that caused me to like have to change. Made me realize like, hey, this is like an issue, a bad issue, and I have to change something in my life, or else something I might actually die next time. Like legitimately. So, and it's something I'm not embarrassed about either. It's a story that I hated going through. I hated every single second of just how miserable it was, but also I would never change it for anything. I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about life through all that. I learned how I tend to react to stress and learn how to react better without alcohol. And it's been an unbelievable ride. I think for anyone who's maybe listening to this or watching, like if you feel like you have an issue or you feel like you need to stop drinking and maybe you're scared of because for me obviously like the biggest scare was like okay going to social events like weddings, um you know I guess parties. I don't really go to any parties at all, but like if you're like scared like hey how do I handle going to all that without drinking, it's like trust me it's so much worth it, so much more worth it. I mean going to a wedding and the time it might kind of suck to have to be sober, but like the next morning whenever you wake up perfectly feeling normal and all that, you're so thankful. But I think just people who are watching, it's like just start as soon as possible. Don't give yourself a date a week from now, like to stop. Like start as soon as possible. I promise you, you will it'll pay in dividends if you get sober. And my life has turned around like crazy, and obviously a lot of it. I truly think it's a God thing, like meeting good and the fact that I got sober right before then, and it's been a crazy ride, and I'm just so thankful that it all happened that way. Now I know so much more about myself, and I've learned a lot, and I think it's truly brought a lot of blessings in my life that I don't think I ever would have had if I was still drinking. So it's been awesome. Being I think December 12th is whenever I'll be 3 years. So pumped for that date. And with good, it's actually been I've been very lucky because obviously some of the guys drink, and I hold nothing against people drinking. Like it's not I'm not weird about it. I'm not anything like that. But it is nice to have like Bubby and Sharf, who don't drink at all, and then even like Sean doesn't drink much, and really, I mean, like it's pretty easy to travel with them and not. I'm never in a spot where I'm like tempted or anything. I really don't feel temptations at all anymore. It's luckily it's been far enough past, and it's like I know I'm never going to go back to that me. So, but yeah, having Bubby being sober and Sharf and all that, it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, just so thankful that I'm in this position now, and I truly attribute a lot to God and also to just no drinking has helped me, get to points in my life now that I don't think I would have been if I were drinking.
Yeah, man, I think it's working out okay for you. You've had a good run these last couple years going through good,
Yeah.
and all this stuff. Last one because I forgot this arm wrestling match with Rory McIlroy. What is the backstory there? That clip surfaced last week. What is the backstory behind that?
Yeah, so I was playing in the Sage Valley Junior Invitational, which is it's still I think it's still going on, but it's at Sage Valley, which is like 15 miles from Augusta, and it's really a beautiful place. Like it's the guy who started it wanted to rival Augusta in a way and make a course that was just unbelievably nice and in good shape, and he did. He made a great golf course. But he started the junior golf tournament, and it was literally like the Masters of junior golf whenever it started. Top 48 players in the world, invitation only, and you stay at the cottages and all that. It was fantastic, and they had Nike as a sponsor. So each year I played in it, they had a Nike guest come in to like do a clinic and talk to us, a Q&A, and just kind of hang out with us for like the night while we played ping pong and all that stuff. So Rory was a guest one year, and this was right when he had started his kind of like reworking his body. He was getting ripped and all that, and he was number one player in the world. And just playing unbelievable golf. And he was doing the Q&A. We got done with that, and I've always been on the muscular side. Like I just have I have very good
Biceps.
genetics. Yeah, I've always had big arms. Like that's just, luckily I didn't really have to work too hard for that. Just have really good linebacker genetics. And one of my buddies, I think it was Bennett Baker, who he played at Florida State. Not sure what he's doing now. I don't know if he's still doing pro golf, but I remember him specifically coming up to me. He's like, "Dude, you got to challenge Rory to an arm wrestling match." And it was just like, it was dumb. It was like, no, like why would I do that? He's like, just do it, just ask him. I doubt he even says yes. Just try it, just see if he does. And I asked him, and surprisingly, Rory's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So then we get down onto the table. We have like 60 people surrounding us, just watching this arm wrestling match, and I took him down. I took him down pretty easily. I think he probably went a little easy on me just because he didn't want to, tear his elbow or tear his
Yeah.
shoulder, like hurt himself. But yeah, that clip is great. Every time it comes across the screen, I got to watch it. Got to take down Rory. Can't. I mean, I haven't taken him down. I don't think ever in golf. So at least take him down in something. But yeah, that's just a funny story. I don't know how he said yes. I thought that was for sure going to be a no, but somehow he did, and it makes for a good clip.
Oh, I love it, man. Anyway, all right, Brad. I've kept you for far too long, buddy. Thank you so much for jumping on the show tonight. This is awesome. Gonna be posting this in a couple days. But if you made it this far in the video, drop me a sub, like, comment, drop Brad a sub. I'll link his stuff in the description. Like I said, man, thank you so much. You're awesome, and congrats on everything. It's gonna be a fun few months for you, and I'm excited to see you grow, man. It's gonna be super cool to see.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Sweet.